because there's none to be given.
I am wise!
I want you to write the polite sex book, like the proper polite method.
I just said it. How many times have you gone into work and then looked at your boss and said, what are they doing? You ever think about the levels at a job, Brett? Of course, the people on the very bottom. What do?
Usually clean.
Yeah, and then there is the people just above them. They're the ones that do the second hardest job at the place, right?
Deal with customers?
Yeah, that sort of thing. And then there's another level above that, and that's the manager that's in the place. Now let's think about what comes after that, right? You might have a guy named like Glenn that comes to your office every 6 months, and you have to lay out the red carpet for Glenn. Think about what the person above Glenn does. Jerry is the person above Glenn, right?
Okay.
His job is basically going to lunch, right?
Yeah, powerful meetings, shaking hands real hard.
We're gonna go up to the CEO now. The people that sit around a table and who knows what they're doing? Nobody knows what they talk about.
Playing cards.
What connection does that person have to what you do and what the customer gets? It just seems like you could really chop like 5 or 6 levels off of any job and the company would still run perfectly.
Think about your job. Now imagine your manager isn't there. How much smoother would your day run?
I mean, how many of you work a job where you don't even know who the fucking CEO is of the company? That means they're absolutely useless. They're parasites.
They're on the top, getting most of the money, sending their kids to private school, driving the fanciest cars, and they can't make a sandwich. Every new level of hierarchy is more money coming out of your paycheck. Unions are fucking great because it's not HR.
You need solidarity with the other workers. We need to use that and exercise that. You and your other workers are the most important people at that company. I mean, hell, the way I think about it, maybe you don't get a union at all and you just take the whole company away from the bosses, and that's called a co-op.
For the almighty dollar, everyone's a slave. Cause what's the point of doing shit if you ain't getting paid?
Oh my God, have you heard the news? Kids are dying of Kratom.
That's not true.
They're injecting it into their veins.
I don't think that's happening.
An ABC Action News exclusive. A mom says a popular herb killed her son.
The most recent death happened in early June. Kratom, also known as metrogenine, was one of 4 drugs blamed for his death.
This was like the devil drug.
It really is just a green powder that makes people feel better.
Yeah, it's a leaf. It grows from the ground, you smash it up, you make a tea out of it, you throw it down the back of your throat, you eat some capsules, and you feel better, your mind's clear. And most people that use Kratom don't have access to healthcare or prescriptions or any of that regular medicine stuff. They get it from local stores or online.
Let's do an example here. You're a young person, you don't understand how all this works, so let me explain this to you. When you get hurt in your older age, let's say you're 34, you work on a roof, you fall off, and you crush your fucking heel, right? It's all shattered. The doctor 10, 15 years ago was like, that's fucked up, that really hurts. You're gonna need some opioids to kill that pain. And then the DEA says, no, you can't have those anymore. These doctors have to tighten up their prescriptions. And now you don't have any, you can't afford them. What do? You can take Kratom. It has the same effects, it's less addictive, and it's more gross. So that even brings down the use. You're not gonna use it as much. Kratom kills the pain in your body. It also cures social anxiety.
The government's solution to stuff like this is always prohibition, which means putting more people in jail.
How big is your appetite for the war on drugs? I'm sure it's small. It's shrinking every single day. Don't let them continue it. Don't let them outlaw more stuff.
Good point.
Thank you.
Before we commence expelling this ghost from this location, before we save Jake from the lock, I will light the ceremonial herb that will give us the sight, that will give us the power we need to set Jake free. My Twitter's not working out here. Let's see if you can get a ghost. Go ahead and try.
I summon thee, ghost, into ghostly ghostness. Come the fuck out if you're a real ghost. Now. Demand it. This is how we fucking hunt ghosts. And as we've pointed out, and as we've said, there are no ghosts.
So this is where the ghosts live, from what we know. And he's not home. Let me see. Let me try this. Jake, you may overtake my body. I accept you into my heart and soul. Please, if you are here, take control of me. Use me as a vessel.
Gross.
Nothing.
Yeah, no ghosts. So I guess the lesson of Beaver Creek is there's no such thing as ghosts, there's no God, and the Bible is a lie. Off to Helltown to find out what the government's up to in the middle of fucking nowhere, Ohio. Hell yeah, bumping out here. Can I get some of this safety herb in my lungs, please? And thank you, are welcome here. Jake, you can't have any because they drug test.
Yeah, if you go to work, man, you're gonna get drug tested.
Jake, you son of a bitch! You get out here! Hey, Jake! Ain't coming. He ain't coming because he's afraid of me, Brian Quinby from Street Fight Radio. Brett, would you like a shot at Jake?
Yeah.
I just fell in a hole. That was Jake. That was all Jake.
I think
we
Jake
found
do
the
that?
ghost.
Jake won't let you see your mentions. He's like, don't look at your phone while you're at work, motherfucker.
You know, you probably hear people constantly talking about this horrible thing called capitalism.
I have.
Yeah, you've heard that?
Yes.
You're like, what? How does capitalism affect me? I will tell you, it runs your entire fucking life. You've probably heard of socialism or communism. Communism! And they say, they try to control your entire life. Your whole day is taken away from you. What control do you have over your day now?
Most people have to be chained to a desk for 40 hours a week, and they're not allowed to leave.
When you wake up in the morning and you feel like shit and you have to wipe the sleep from your eyes and like look around and be like, why does this have to happen this early in the morning? That's a capitalism.
And it controls everything, like your healthcare, your education. It all comes down to making money, but some things just don't make money. Honestly, ask yourself, how afraid are you of getting an injury and how that could possibly fuck up your life?
Yeah, you're being stopped from skateboarding, breakdancing, doing anything fun, because if you get injured, you're fucked forever. You can't go to work.
And so then you have all these people that say, well, we can make a kinder capitalism, a more conscious capitalism. It isn't gonna fucking happen. We need anarchy, we need socialism, we need communism, we need anything but more capitalism.
But wait, Brett, when you go to the grocery store, you have almost unlimited choice. You can buy 100 different types of cereals.
All made from the same stuff with different graphics on the outside.
All corn. It's basically just a bunch of boxes of corn.
That's capitalism.
It actually treats about 1% of the population like humans, and the rest of us like tools for those superhumans. You don't have any money, your bank account's low? I know where the money is. Jeff Bezos has it, the Waltons have it.
And they took it from us, right?
They took it from us.
We're just getting our money back.
Yeah, your work made that money. You deserve that money. That's your money. The 1% has never decided to do the right thing. That's why we have to take power and just spread it out among the 100% of people that exist.
I mean, I tell you what, even the jobs that paid me nothing, like when I was first learning them, it was like, all right, I can do this. You just need somebody to get the plates and make them go from here to here.
I can be the master of that. I was really into that, and I can do that. But after a while, it's like, you guys treat me like shit, and I get the plates from here to here every fucking time, and you talk down to me and shit. What's going on?
Jesus,
you're counting my lunches. Like, you're looking at what I'm eating. You're like figuring out when I'm going out to smoke. Like, all of a sudden, you're in my shit. But all you said you wanted from me was the plates to go from here to here, and I'm getting the plates from here to here.
God, that was the most accurate representation of how I feel when I get a job. At first, I'm helpless. I'm a little baby. I'm sucking off the tea to the manager to tell me what I need to do. You know, I don't want to, my wings aren't fully formed yet. And then once I learn what I'm doing, I'm like, you know, y'all could treat me a lot better for this. I deserve a lot more for this.
Wow, this is some bullshit right here. Now that you kicked me out of the nest and I'm flying through the sky and trying to flap my wings here, I don't think you're giving me enough.
I don't like this.
You didn't set me up right.
Can you imagine being that sensitive? Like you.
Well, that's
like
what
that
they're
is the
PC as hell.
ultimate.
Hey, you know what? This is the freest goddamn country, and it's so free that if you don't stand up, you aren't a free person. And goddamn it, boy, if you don't stand up right now, you ain't free. Because you have the freedom to do whatever you want. But I'm telling you, I have the freedom to make you feel bad for doing the freedom. Just get up and say you love it. Just get up right now, Copernic. God damn it. It's so free that you can't do it. You have to. It's free because there's only one way to be. That's why it's free. So be that. Damn you. They don't have anything to live. I mean, their kids hate them. They don't have, I mean, all their money got stolen by banksters and shit. Healthcare's running through the fucking roof.
Polite about it.
It's just not the polite way to have sex.
That's just really one way to have sex that's polite, and it's to say, ma'am, or sir, or non-binary person, would you like to enjoy some making love with me? And then if they answer yes, then you mount that person and you move back and forth politely, and then you kind of finish it up and you say that was great, and then you never mention it again. That's the right way to have sex, okay?
And folks, and that's why we don't do any sort of sex advice or sex stuff on this show, because there's none to be given.
I am wise!
I want you to write the polite sex book, like the proper polite method.
I just said it. How many times have you gone into work and then looked at your boss and said, what are they doing? You ever think about the levels at a job, Brett? Of course, the people on the very bottom. What do they do?
Usually clean.
Yeah, and then there is the people just above them. They're the ones that do the second hardest job at the place, right?
Deal with customers?
Yeah, that sort of thing. And then there's another level above that, and that's the manager that's in the place. Now let's think about what comes after that, right? You might have a guy named like Glenn that comes to your office every 6 months, and you have to lay out the red carpet for Glenn. Think about what the person above Glenn does. Jerry is the person above Glenn, right?
Okay.
His job is basically going to lunch, right?
Yeah, powerful meetings, shaking hands real hard.
We're gonna go up to the CEO now. The people that sit around a table and who knows what they're doing? Nobody knows what they talk about.
Playing cards.
What connection does that person have to what you do and what the customer gets? It just seems like you could really chop like 5 or 6 levels off of any job and the company would still run perfectly.
Think about your job. Now imagine your manager isn't there. How much smoother would your day run?
I mean, how many of you work a job where you don't even know who the fucking CEO is of the company? That means they're absolutely useless. They're parasites.
They're on the top, getting most of the money, sending their kids to private school, driving the fanciest cars, and they can't make a sandwich. Every new level of hierarchy is more money coming out of your paycheck. Unions are fucking great because it's not HR.
You need solidarity with the other workers. We need to use that and exercise that. You and your other workers are the most important people at that company. I mean, hell, the way I think about it, maybe you don't get a union at all and you just take the whole company away from the bosses, and that's called a co-op.
For the almighty dollar, everyone's a slave. Cause what's the point of doing shit if you ain't getting paid?
Oh my God. God, have you heard the news? Kids are dying of Kratom.
That's not true.
They're injecting it into their veins.
I don't think that's happening.
An ABC Action News exclusive. A mom says a popular herb killed her son.
The most recent death happened in early June. Kratom, also known as metrogenine, was one of 4 drugs blamed for his death.
This was like the devil's drug.
It really is just a green powder that makes people feel better.
Yeah, it's a leaf. It grows from the ground, you smash it up, you make a tea out of it, you throw it down the back of your throat, you eat some capsules, and you feel better, your mind's clear. And most people that use Kratom don't have access to healthcare or prescriptions or any of that regular medicine stuff. They get it from local stores or online.
Let's do an example here. You're a young person. You don't understand how all this works, so let me explain this to you. When you get hurt in your older age, let's say you're 34, you work on a roof, you fall off, and you crush your fucking heel, right? It's all shattered. The doctor 10, 15 years ago was like, that's fucked up, that really hurts. You're gonna need some opioids to kill that pain. And then the DEA says, no, you can't have those anymore. These doctors have to tighten up their prescriptions. And now you don't have any. You can't afford them. What do? You can take Kratom. It has the same effects, it's less addictive, and it's more gross. So that even brings down the use. You're not gonna use it as much. Kratom kills the pain in your body. It also cures social anxiety.
The government's solution to stuff like this is always prohibition, which means putting more people in jail.
How big is your appetite for the war on drugs? I'm sure it's small. It's shrinking every single day. Don't let them continue it. Don't let them outlaw more stuff.
Good point.
Thank you.
Before we commence expelling this ghost from this location, before we save Jake from the lock, I will light the ceremonial herb that will give us the sight, that will give us the power we need to set Jake free. My Twitter's not working out here. Let's see if you can get a ghost. Go ahead and try.
I summon the ghost into ghostly ghostness. Come the fuck out if you're a real ghost. Now. Demand it. This is how we fucking hunt ghosts. And as we've pointed out, and as we've said, there are no ghosts.
So this is where the ghost lives, from what we know. And he's not home. Let me see, let me try this. Jake, you may overtake my body. I accept you into my heart and soul. Please, if you are here, take control of me. Use me as a vessel.
Gross.
Nothing.
Yeah, no ghosts. So I guess the lesson of Beaver Creek is there's no such thing as ghosts.
Hey Street Fighters, how's it going? It's time for the show. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, this is the place to be on Wednesday night. It's Street Fight. We do this on the live stream on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Come hang with the gang, act orangutan, get in the chat, let us know where you're at, what's doing. We always have a wonderful crew of people that hang out and watch the show, help us make this thing a success. We appreciate all y'all that showed up. Del Vaca, I'm So Bass God, it's Yako Beats, Alf Dewella, the champ. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for keeping the show going. This is our 10th year of podcasting, big year for us. And we continue to spread this mess across the U.S. and hope you will join us on that journey to make this world a better place. Even if we have to drag it in the right direction, kicking and screaming. The left direction, I guess.
Yeah, that's the direction I'm pulling.
Right. Yes.
Left.
I keep saying right.
Yeah.
I don't mean right though.
You mean left.
I mean left.
Yeah.
Left. Left.
To the left. To the left. Not to the right.
Yes.
Not to the right.
America, get everything in your box to the left. So we do the show 2 times a week. We have a call-in show on Sunday nights. If you want to talk to us, we'll be here 9 p.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time. If you want to support the show, we're on Patreon. That's a place to support artists so they don't have to sell beer and mattresses. It's patreon.com/streetfightradio. And we just did an Undercover Boss. We just watched an episode of Undercover Boss, and that is happening. That's going to be coming in the next week or so. And we're also working on the D&D stream is getting closer to happening. We got a couple of torches in the fire, but I think we'll get it done. Should be a good. We're ready to go for the new year. I think we got enough planned.
We're moving, man.
Get Motivated. That's the other one. We're doing Get Motivated as the next audio series. I'm in charge of that one. It's landing at a perfect time in my life. I'm in like another Get Motivated. I need to get motivated. Things are kind of falling apart, and we're going to go through all the self-help books and see what we can do, what we can get from them.
It's not coming at a good time in my life because I have to listen to a bunch of books I hate. But I'm doing it, you know. This is harder than Shocktober, by far.
Yeah.
Because Shocktober, at least I get a chuckle or two. I don't get any chuckles out of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He is not making me laugh. Not even a little bit.
Right. Yeah, it just feels like you're being talked down to.
Yeah, just some guy saying like, well, my poor dad told me money didn't matter. My rich dad told me that money did matter. So that was just one of the bits of knowledge I'd like to impart on you. And I'm like, all right, fuck. I'm poor dad.
Yeah, Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a great start because so many people said that they had a dad that bought the book and then like bought the board game and had them play that with them too.
I'm poor dad.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. Poor Dad.
Poor Dad's the fun dad. Poor Dad could also be called Fun Dad.
Poor Dad is like Dad.
I'm looking up Rich Dad,
Friend
Poor
Dad.
Dad board game.
Also tonight, I want to let you know, Brian, I did crack open your gift, the blackened whiskey from Metallica, infused with the sounds of Metallica.
How is it?
I love it. It's really great.
Does it taste like Metallica?
Yeah, it tastes like fire, like the Dance of the Dead. It tastes like creeping death and all that.
That's great.
It shines bright like Orion.
It smells so bad. Jason and Brad are drinking it, and I fucking was sitting across from him. I was like, oh, it smells like my grandma in here. Because my grandma drank a lot of whiskey growing up, and
yeah,
you know.
I mean, grandmas do. Grandma's got to do something. It's fucking boring being a grandma.
When I smell cigarettes and whiskey, I just am like, Grandma, what's going on, Meemaw?
Yeah.
That was what we called her.
I hope I get $5.
Yeah, Mamaw. Bought me Super Mario 2 for Easter one year, and it was like, what? An Easter present? Shit!
Yeah.
And then that set up a whole lifetime of disappointing Easters for the rest of my life.
She probably hit the lottery or something. Hit a lottery ticket.
Who knows what she did? I know they like the horse races.
Yep, that'll do it. I had a horse racing dad. There was times when you could tell he had won. There was a little bigger windfall for the family.
Holy shit! Rich Dad Poor Dad's game is $79.99.
It's an investment.
I guess. Shit. 79. It looks like shit too from what
Damn.
I'm looking at.
He's running. It's not still in production. Is it because is it like a collectible
No, you
thing?
can buy it on richdad.com.
Wow, what a huckster. I love that. I love it now. Rich Dad, teach me your ways.
I know. Can we get this Street Fight $80 board game out soon?
My rich dad said sell a board game for $80.
We need a Street Fight version of Splendor. This is the board game I'm playing these days.
I like that.
Splendor.
It's a great one. Classic.
I would say I'm destroying my family, but my wife listens to the show and she's going to get mad that I'm bragging that I destroy them and they won't play me anymore.
Oh, that sucks.
You know,
you don't ever let off the gas?
No, I don't. I've played 5 times.
Oh, yeah, you shouldn't. Yeah, you shouldn't. They have to just power through that and get better. They just have to learn. They just have to copy what you're doing until you have to learn new moves.
Now, here's the thing. If you've ever played Splendor, I don't recommend that you copy what I'm doing because I do operate at a high debt ratio in that game, much like I do in real life.
Yeah, that's funny. I was talking about playing Scythe, this board game online with John from Block Party. And I was like, had been drinking and was having fun talking to people. And I was like, yeah, let's get a game of Scythe going. And the next day when I thought about it, I was like, that game is all about planning for the future and managing your resources, which is something I've never been able to do. I'm going to get shellacked.
John's probably very good at it.
Yeah, John is going to perfectly calculate my fucking demise, and I'm going to have no idea. I'll just be thrashing, dying in the fields.
Yeah, he's a planner. John is. So, very good at planning things, I gotta tell you. But the PODcast does not happen without his planning skills.
We've been doing Carcassonne has been our big game. Erica finally it clicked, and she's just obsessed with it.
I know.
It's a good one.
Over there trying to play Carcassonne.
It's a good one.
But it's one that 5 people can play, and I have a 16-year-old now, so we have to have 5-player games, not 4.
It also adapts to people's personalities. So if you want to be really aggressive, you can be. There's lots of shithead moves you can make, but you can also just kind of, develop together in a little community.
Yeah. So the fallout from last week.
Can I do some updates?
Go for it.
I get stuff that I want. I'm sorry. I always forget to do this stuff. I wanted to say thank you to 2 people that left reviews on iTunes. This one comes from Flender. They said, "Dude rock." Oh yeah, baby. Flender. You know him?
No.
The next one is Atlantic Conveyor. They said, "Brett and Brian are the realest guys out there. Keep it up."
Real dudes.
Yeah.
We are real dudes.
I'll
I'll give you that.
5 out of 5. And then the next one, sorry. Hi, Brett and Brian. I grew up in a small town, and when I was 15, 3 Days Grace was my favorite band. I Hate Everything About You was my favorite song. I thought that little guitar twang and solo at the start was super sexy, and as a 15-year-old could only imagine making out with my school crush while listening to that song. Not only that, but my best friend loved Nickelback, and all the butt rock was played regularly on the local station, Bay Rock, and the best DJ was this Canadian guy called The Moose. When I first started listening to the 2000s Butt Fest, the 15-year-old in me got really offended. Cheers, Viv.
Yeah, that's been interesting. I got a little grief about me and Alex and Tony being a little mean to Volbeat.
Addressing all the assholes in the room.
But I was just having... you know what? The thing is, I make fun of stuff I like. So don't ever get offended because I didn't like something that you like, because stuff that I like, I also make fun of. So I could like it, actually. I don't take anything fucking seriously.
Yeah, I mean, and also when you're a kid, you don't know how to access other things. There's lots of young people. We have lots of young people that was hard rock when they were a kid. That's fine. That's what you listen to,
Yeah, love. Hey, if you like Volbeat, go ahead and listen to Volbeat.
Sure.
And if you listen
with it. Yeah, if 3 Days Grace was your shit when you were 15, it was mine too. Like I said on that show, I love all that stuff too. I mean, I was listening to Alice in Chains and just having the best fucking time in the world. It made me feel like I was 9, like I was riding my bike.
It feels like Buttfest could be a permanent show, almost the way people responded to it. Cause people are just like, holy shit, and we'll bring it back. I think it's so popular that we can start bringing, it'll be one that comes back like Shocktober and all the other, the ones that we do, Holy Boys and Shocktober. I think Buttfest can be added to that sort of list because it is a astoundingly popular show that people respond heavily to, and they love it. I don't know why. It wasn't something that I expected to happen, but I like that people like it, and the music was. I have like a new thing here where like I'm ranking the prep for my miniseries. And like what I hate and what I love. I hated Jim Rome. Mm-hmm. The sports talk series was not bad because it's radio, guys. Buttfest is up there high with the shock jocks and stuff. It's just like I don't mind doing it.
Yeah, I don't.
Some of the shock jocks I don't like as much. Like, you know, obviously I don't want to sit and listen to Tom Likas all day, but like Buttfest wasn't that bad. The music wasn't that bad to listen to, really. It's bad music. It's not good, but it's like it catchy and it gets you moving a little bit, you know?
And the Theory of a Dead Man stuff just like blew open a new part of my mind. Like I had no idea that was what it was. That was enough to be like a wildly popular band. It was enough to just do what they do.
Theory of a Dead Man is the worst band I've ever heard in my life.
And somebody said there was a song that they've been trying to figure out what it was for like 13 years, and they found out through Buttfest it was a Theory of the Dead Man song.
Is it I'm So Sick of the Hobos?
Yeah, I'm So Sick of the Hobos.
I'm so sick of the hobos! That song is vile.
It's awful. It's propaganda. That should...
And it's like, I Hate My Life is such... Like, I called that the official song of the riots. The Capitol riots is what it sounds
Absolutely.
like.
That's what it was. It was that same feeling.
It's just that all those guys' worst instincts. It's like a song that plays into all of people's worst instincts.
Yeah, I'd also like I'd like to nail down the stuff that we love, like our favorite stuff too. I'd love to hear more of that because you know Chevelle got mentioned a lot, but no, they didn't get played on the show. You know?
Oh, I don't love any of it, but
I love it. I love Crossfade.
Okay,
and Cold.
I don't like any of it, but I don't mind it.
Sure.
As much. You know, Rich Dad Poor Dad is traumatic for me, almost. To listen to. It's just, ugh. This guy is boring. Now I'm nervous about all the other damn ones I'm going to have to listen to.
Tony Robbins is better presenter, I would say.
Okay.
Tony Robbins is more better. And he really is a salesman.
Yeah.
Is Kiyosaki reading the one that you're reading or that you're listening to? Okay.
Yeah.
He's boring.
So the fallout from last Wednesday is still going on.
Yeah, it's changed a lot. I mean, it's pretty intense.
Motherfuckers are getting arrested, and you know what? That day, I know I said I had a little bit of a nerve when they said that the National Guard wasn't getting called in, just because. It wasn't like I thought the National Guard was going to do anything or anything like that.
No, they do.
That they weren't going to come in and save us. You understand what I'm saying? Like that, like we were in danger, and oh my God, somebody called the National Guard. You know, we need to be saved. I didn't.
Gotcha.
That's not the way I was thinking. I was just thinking, as in, like, wow, this is how like governments crumble. Is like. You know, somebody decides like I'm not going to call in, and then it gets out of hand, and then the next thing you know, Trump is still the president in 2 weeks.
Yeah, or if you find out the National Guard leader is also in on it and wants to stop the steal too, and is willing to use the troops to, you know.
Yeah, that little moment was a little freaky to me, but it feels more serious now than it did then.
Well, the details are getting released, and the video. I mean, have you seen the terrified police officers that got dragged? No, the guy that got crushed in the door.
You actually sent me a thing saying something about it, but not the video. So I haven't seen the video at all.
Yeah, the videos are violent. I mean, they were going in there to kill. I mean, they would have done it. I mean, you have to really. They're goofy, but you have to understand. I mean, they would have let people get killed. I mean, the thing about it is those silly grandmas on the sideline, as soon as they killed somebody, they've just been like, well, it had to be done, you know.
Yeah, we killed somebody.
You just justify it after the fact.
Well, they say somebody else did it.
Sure.
A lot of what's going on, I mean, they are blaming anybody else now.
Yeah.
And like now we're really seeing the propaganda feedback loop in practice. Now, because, you know, average regular ass people were like, all right, it went a little too far. I think there are a lot of people that voted for Trump that are like, okay, it's gone a little too far now. I think we need to rein it back a little. But there are these news sources still that are fucking still going with it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And those people are in their own little world. We're in our... I like to say, I know, I'm not delusional enough to not think that I'm not in my own little feedback loop too. But I also feel like I see enough of the other side that I am trying to get into what they're thinking. You know what I mean? Like, I care deeply what these people are thinking in their minds, what they're doing when what thought processes and stuff lead to this. Yeah. I am curious about that. They are not curious about what thought processes lead us to where we are. They don't care. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's actually a great point.
And the feedback loop, I think, is fine for somebody like me who is like, well, but I still care what the other people are thinking. I know we still have to live on the planet with those people, and unfortunately we have to be in the same country as those people, and knowing what they're thinking is important to me.
Yeah, and also not convincing yourself that the shared reality of everybody else is way different. You know, that there's actually not an augmented reality on top of us. I mean, there's evidence that capitalists are taking money from us. There's new articles every single day that money is being filtered upwards, and that corporate criminals are getting away with shit, and we're losing. And Black Lives Matter protests are being taken down. There's enough evidence for that.
Yeah, and
it's not happening in like comment sections,
right? So I read this story from Idaho this week out of CBS Idaho News, and it's a Boise man who stormed the U.S. Capitol building is speaking out about his actions. And CBS 2 News has been in contact with Colt. His name is Josiah Colt, which is such a right-wing name. I mean, geez.
Yeah.
I'm Josiah Colt. He sounds like a bad guy from Deadwood. Showed up, rolled into town. But here's what he said. And I think this is worth reading. I love America. I love the people. I didn't hurt anyone, and I didn't cause any damage in the chamber. I got caught up in a moment, and when I saw the door to the chamber open, I walked in, hopped down, and sat on the chair. I said my piece, and then I helped a gentleman get to safety that was injured, then left. While in the chamber, I told the other protesters that this is a sacred place and not to do any damage.
This is like a high school book report.
And what's funny about the beginning of this is that, like, I think in his mind he's taking accountability for what he did there at the beginning.
No.
I walked by. Oh. I saw the door was open. I went into the room.
Yeah.
But it was only because the door was open. If the door had been closed, I wouldn't have walked into the room, is what it feels like he's doing.
Yeah, but the thing that brought him to that open door was that he wanted to stop the steal.
I know. That's the thing.
And he was joined up with all the other people with him to stop the steal, and they wanted to kill people.
But he doesn't want to be seen as, one, being unpatriotic, because...
Right. That's the most important part.
They're being called unpatriotic, which is the worst thing you can call somebody in this country.
Worse than racist.
I mean, those people were so much more mad that me and you are unpatriotic than they are racist.
I also, it is interesting that he said he sat down in a chair and said his piece. Like, he just said, I, John Q. Citizen, think we should stop the steal. And then he was like, oh, somebody's injured. I'm peacefully walked in this building. Somebody got injured peacefully walking into this building, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
Come on, dog.
Is it weird how
they broke the goddamn windows and the doors down? It's not peacefully getting into anything.
They're not accepting any sort of... Like, they say...
They're stuck.
They always say, when the police beat somebody up, they say this word every time. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. It comes up every single fucking time. I see them all the time. They respond to me when I post about the police and stuff like that.
Yep.
Right? They can't in their own mind apply that to themselves.
Yes.
And that is because they say they love America.
They claim they're doing this for America, and then everybody in America is like, don't fucking do that.
That really is what's going on, though. And people are really like, but I mean, most people were like, no. I bet when Fox News, which they had already turned away from anyway, at a point, when Fox News was against them, some of them had to be like, this is not good.
Well, this is just this is when you're like, this is when you do hang out with the bad kids, maybe that do some shit that you're not willing to do, or you are hanging out with somebody that you don't know too well, and then you get dragged into this, you get into something, and you have to have this moment of reckoning where it's like, hold on, it's just this very small disgruntled group of people that feel like this, and everybody around me is telling me that things are different. Do I return back to my family? Do I turn away and go back to my regular life, or do I join up with them? Like it's a bifurcation point. The pressure hit a level where you have to go two ways. There's no middle road here.
It's a small group of weirdos, and
there was 2 cops that got arrested in Virginia that also did the same thing. I stand by the United States Constitution, and I did what I did, and we were respectfully there, you know.
Well, there's more to this.
We broke in for a tour, basically.
This is another paragraph I liked. While in the chamber, I told the other protesters that this is a sacred place and not to do any damage. Some of them wanted to trash the place and steal stuff, but I told them not to and to leave everything in its place. We're still on sacred ground.
They're so selfish and egotistic. They're the center of the world.
I know. Because like that is
You're
also...
in them. This is they don't know camaraderie. They literally do not know camaraderie, empathy, any of that stuff. This is your people. You have to stand by all of your shoulder to shoulder with these people and what they do.
I've said that also.
You're thumbing them up the whole time. That's why I don't feel bad about doing Black Lives Matter stuff.
This is when people get in. This is when you get in trouble when you're in school, right? And you're always like, the teachers always figure out who did what. Every time. And the reason for that is because somebody snitches, right? Somebody gets in the room and they say, while in the chamber, I told the other protesters that this is a sacred place.
Did I do bad stuff? No, but I was totally around some bad stuff that I was like, whoa, that's bad stuff. Don't do that bad stuff, guys.
Yeah, I the whole time was saying don't.
The whole time I was like, no, don't do that. I mean, I came here to look around, not to steal stuff.
I came here to stop the steal, not to steal the steal.
I was at the bank to drive my friends home. I didn't know they were going to rob the place when they were inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
My friend said I need to be picked up from the bank, and I showed up, and they ran in and said, go, 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 go. I was being a good friend.
It's so fucking weird that they don't have any sense of loyalty with the other people that they're with. That's their crew. Hey, guess what, Josiah Colt? If you're hanging out with the bad kids, you're a bad kid. Good kids don't hang out with the bad kids. I didn't know any good kids when I was growing up. The reason I didn't know any good kids is because I was a fucking bad kid and I hung out with the bad kids.
Yes.
They don't mix. It's 2 separate fucking worlds, dude. You know, they're too big. The good kids are too busy getting good grades and studying and participating in extracurricular activities and stuff to be around me throwing fucking spark plugs at car windows and smoking weed. They fucking you are one of the bad kids. If you think that there is a group inside of this group that are bad, that are rioters, that are shitting. They were shitting in the building. Yeah. They were shitting on desks and rubbing their shit on stuff. You know? They got so hot when a fucking person shit on a cop car. And they were shitting that was outside. You can shit. Dude, shit on my car. Sir, you can go shit on my car because I can just take it to the car wash and wash the shit off of my car. Not a big fucking deal. If you shit on a table inside of a historic building, that becomes a whole other big fucking deal, you know?
Absolutely.
They were shitting and pissing all over the place.
Yeah, and I honestly, one of the first fights I got with my cousin way back during Occupy Wall Street, he's like, "What do you have to say about these people that are shitting and pissing on cop cars?" I'm like, "I'm not doing that," and I mean, I don't know who did. I
don't care.
Yeah. I mean, that's not enough to get me out of the movement, you know. That's where I'm with. I mean, that's what happens, I guess. Don't be bad. Don't steal money from us, I guess. Don't do Wall Street. That would make the cop cars not have shit on them.
I'm totally proud of what we did over the summer. What people did over the summer, what that movement, I'm proud of everything that happened. I don't have some kind of thing where it's like I don't want to be associated with the people that I was in the streets with. I do want to be.
Yeah.
That's who I want to be associated with.
And they're just so white privileged, to overuse that term, in that they just are talking so much, and you don't ever hear Antifa people come out and say what they thought about. You don't talk about that stuff. That's evidence against you.
I know.
They're trying to prove that you forced your entry into a place, and you said, yes, I did force entry. That's all that matters. The court, like, if you're libertarian, if you're anti-government, you should never fucking say what you did. You should only have a lawyer talking for you.
Yes.
There's no reason to tell anybody your story. They just feel like they're this special person. Like, I didn't know what I got myself into was the wrong crowd. You know,
they can talk their way out of it.
They think they can explain it away. It's like they're putting charges against you about whether you unlawfully went into this building, and you're giving interviews telling people that you did.
Yeah, he goes, I sincerely apologize to the American people. I recognize my actions that have brought shame upon myself, my family, my friends, and my beautiful country. In the moment, I thought I was doing the right thing. I realize now that my actions were inappropriate, and I beg for forgiveness from America and my home state of Idaho.
That's not who's trying you, though.
My intention wasn't to put a stain on the great country's democratic process. That's exactly like what that's what you went to go do.
Yeah, I mean, they won't even own up to it.
They won't.
It's obnoxious.
No.
Say what you believe. Tell us that Joe Biden is stealing the election for pedophiles or whatever it is.
So the new thing that's going on last night, I have the conspiracy theory. We're going to get to that right after this thing. The new thing that happened last night was the Republicans. Were you watching this thing where the Republicans were pissed off about the metal detectors at the Capitol, and they were like shoving their way through and like screaming at the police,
going around the side?
Yeah, they were just so hot about it, and just what if that was us? That's just all I think about, is like, what would they be saying if AOC was doing that? Would she be entitled? You know?
Right.
And this Boebert, this Representative Boebert,
they wouldn't let her.
Lauren Boebert.
Yeah.
They did end up letting her in.
She wouldn't let him search their purse. There was some sort of fight about searching her purse or something too.
Yeah, listen to this. When rioters stormed the Capitol in an attempt to stop President-elect Joe Biden's Electoral College certification, freshman rep Laura Boebert found herself in a rare situation without her gun. So she wanted to have her gun
right
in there. Since she arrived in Washington, Boebert has pushed to expand gun rights at the Capitol. But on January 6th, the day the Capitol was under siege, the Second Amendment enthusiast followed the rules and did not carry her gun into the House chamber. It was just like this "I told you so" moment, Boebert told Fox News about her frustration with leadership. "I wish I would have just not listened, because my life is worth defending. The people next to me, their lives are worth defending. Then to not have the ability to do so is very discomforting." So she is acting like if she had her gun, she would have been able. She wouldn't have shot. Dude, those are her people.
Right.
Her people to the T.
She was a threat. Well, I mean, did you read Ayanna Pressley's and AOC's account of things?
The COVID thing?
Yes, the COVID thing, and then also the fact that they couldn't trust the people that they were in there with, you know?
Yeah, they went into that little room, and I didn't read the part about them. I read the part about them being like Republican guys and women being told to put on masks, and them being like no and laughing and not doing it.
Right.
And so they were in a teeny tiny room, and now 2 people have COVID.
Right.
From that room.
And Ayanna Presley said the panic switches in her room were ripped off too.
Yes, I did see that. And there's also this like little thing that's going on that I don't know. I don't know what's true and what isn't true, but I do know that like there's this thing going on where it's like some Republican representatives brought people through to do recon the day before.
They gave them tours.
Yeah, gave them tours, and those were used for recon.
A lot of high-ranking people. Clarence Thomas's wife also paid for buses of people to come in to do this shit.
Whew. It is something out there, man. It is. I don't know. Next week, the inauguration is, and the shit that's going on at the Columbus State. I'll be at the Columbus State House to see what happens. I don't know what's gonna fucking happen, dude.
Yeah, they're trying to take it.
They aren't gonna take
Stop the steal.
They aren't gonna even come.
Yeah, I know they're ready. They can't. The government is not going to be punked by these people.
No.
Well, maybe they will, actually. They're never prepared for anything. They seem to not be bad at their job when it comes to these type of people.
But soon we're going to be there too, though. Like, our side is going to be there too, which means the police will be there.
Have you heard about the people rushing the banks?
No.
Oh, somebody on Twitter said that there was a bank line. They went to the bank and it was full of people talking about how there's going to be martial law and all this stuff.
Well,
and one of our friends' moms said, "Hey, do you think it's because they're like actually good? They're good investors." And they were like, "Hey, do you think we should be taking our money out of the bank?" And they were like, "What do you mean? Like everybody's running on the banks." It's like nobody's running on the banks.
No,
once again, you've whipped yourself into this very weird world.
Well, this Brian Anderson on Twitter is the best. I have a few different memes and a few different things about where their brains are at now that I thought I would get out there.
Okay.
Do you have some?
No, I mean I have just a suggestion. That's the reason I made that face. Reddit has a one called QAnon Casualties. And it's a lot of people that are anonymously posting that like they were really into it and they've had like a reckoning. There's a lot of people that are explaining that they want their kids back and stuff. You know?
Oh, I'll look into that for next week.
There's also there are people. Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
So here we go. Brian Anderson, MAGA Law Brian on Twitter is telling us what the next steps are. This is from today. Breaking Biden inauguration in quotes.
I saw this guy.
Yeah. Will be a mass arrest event. Sources tell me the Space Force will cut the feed from the inauguration and initiate GBS, allowing Trump to announce crimes against humanity committed by attendees to the world. Without cover story, Swamp would flee after the first arrest. So basically he's saying that the inauguration is a cover. Trump is letting the inauguration happen.
To get them all in one place.
To get them all in one place so that he can then initiate martial law. Or what they believe is that he's then going to use the emergency broadcasting system. Space Force is going to cut the feed to the inauguration.
And everybody's going to grab their ham radios.
Space Force is going to jump into their spaceship and they're going to go up and they're going to knock all the satellites out of the sky. That's the first. They're going to shoot lasers at it. Okay? And
They're
then
going to hold up a mirror and block it.
Trump will be in a room, probably a secure bunker, Brett, I would guess. That's where you want to be when you're doing something like this.
Yeah, that's true.
He's going to go on TV and he's going to say, I'm draining the swamp now. These global pedophile Democrats and some Republicans are in the swamp. You know, Mitch McConnell, he ain't getting off scot-free.
Yeah.
And he's going to announce their arrests. And it's going to be very satisfying if you're if you're a MAGA person to see this happen. Because it's going to happen right on TV.
Yeah.
You know?
You don't have to leave your house for this one. Everything's already in motion. I read that they had stole files from the raid on the Capitol. They had stole some files to make this happen.
Yeah.
It was all the evidence they needed to present on Inauguration Day to get Nancy Pelosi executed.
It's just, Brett, we've done conspiracy theories on this show. We've done so much stuff. We have been following these people for almost 10 years.
We're related to them.
Now we're related to them. We live around them. We know them. And, it was really funny for a period of time. You know what I mean? Like when we were collecting extremely pissed off right-wingers 2 memes and just reading them and making fun of them and having a good laugh. This is like twisted at this point. We're at a point where it's twisted. It's Joker time. We live in the Joker world.
It's Joker-fied.
Yeah, more and more outages have been reported worldwide in the last few days. Space Force is priming and making final tests on tech for the big launch on January 20th. Trump is confident for a reason. If you don't believe this, good. Trump hopes Obama, Biden, Clinton, and the rest felt the same. He needed them to believe he was actually going to let them get away with it. Now, real traitors in Dem and Republican parties have revealed themselves. And then he hashtagged it, trust the plan, Trump never lies. So...
You know what? Somebody said in the chat. This is a good point. It's something that I have to say ethically is something it's hard for me to make sense of, and I think, but it is right. Sleep User says these people got to be re-educated somehow, which is an authoritarian communist thing that they complain about all the time. But now I understand why people were complaining that they had to be re-educated because they were believing in shit like this.
It is wild. Listen to this.
I watched some emperor guy that they re-educated that just like worked in rice paddies and then lived the rest of his life as a regular guy. And I really like I'm not a prison person, but I'm not a let him go person. I don't think we can't let this go. We have to get rid of it.
I just don't know what to say or do. I don't know how to talk to.
I'm not in charge. I have no power. The laughing is a way to just get. I mean, the laughing is just a way to neutralize the fear.
Yeah.
So there's enough of them out there, and they're all lone wolves. But they're all. I don't know. They just. And the problem is that the liberals and the Democrats are not prepared to deal with this at all. They're stupid ass unity motherfuckers that want just things to go along as normal so that everybody can keep making money and everybody can have fucking electric bicycle. All their people can have electric bicycles and can order $16 lunches off fucking Grubhub. Like they just want things to go back to the same so that they get more Brooks Brothers points.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, so the next thing I wanted to read was a post somebody sent me from a message board that they gather on. And I thought this article made sense given everything we've been hearing. I don't know the author. It was shared by someone on MAGA Book, which is...
Come on now.
One of their websites, I guess. Is that still around?
Have you been to HugeTube yet?
No.
Go to HugeTube.
Y-U-G-E?
Yeah. It opens up with the sales pitch. Do you have the audio on? No, U-G. No, Y. No Y.
U-G-E-T-U-B-E.
Yeah, they aped the whole they aped the whole system, and when you open it up, it goes straight to a sales pitch.
Okay, let's do it. Let's listen to it. Let's hear it. I'm curious to hear the HugeTube. It doesn't have the sales pitch though. It just has a website here. Let's see.
Click on it.
I used to love YouTube. We all did. But then something happened. Something none of us expected.
Oh no.
It's showing errors saying that their speech has been limited for hate speech.
We made YouTube too powerful. And somewhere along the way, we forgot this most important lesson. Freedom is not free.
This guy.
I forget that every single day.
Yeah. I don't even think about it.
Sometimes I'm just being free and I'm like, this freedom's free.
Yeah, this is really free. Oh, man.
Sucking that freedom. It's so free.
This is wild. So they also have videos along the side. They have an AR builder kit. They have the 2018 midterm recap, queen size bed frame DIY. Commie Dearest, Intellectual Frog Legs.
Yep.
And Beginner Bass Fishing, the tackle box.
Also, we got our salesman here is he's a guy he's got the beard and the long hair slicked back or kind of loosely pulled back, and he's wearing a suit with the shirt open.
I gotta tell you the truth, he's handsome.
Yeah, he's good looking.
He's got like model good look.
Alpha guy. He's alpha to them. This is an alpha Proud Boy type.
He's alpha. Yeah,
they suck him. Proud Boys suck this guy off for sure.
Yeah, he probably wears a vest, like the shrapnel vest, the tech vest.
Yes.
If you saw him, and they would like love this. It would be like a grunt style. He's a grunt style model.
Yes, he is. He should be doing. I mean, he could be doing, Freedom Coffee, but instead he's doing Freedom YouTube.
He's doing YouTube.
And also, I just want to say,
censored.
The look of HugeTube looks exactly like YouTube, except they replace all of the graphics with HugeTube, and it's American flag as their logo. But they ripped off the subscribers, the thumbs up and down. All of it is a ripoff.
It's so good.
Banned, restricted, silenced, demonetized, or even deplatformed without notice or recourse by Orwellian big tech oligarchs. And thank God people are waking up. Even my liberal friends have told me how disgusted they are with the suppression of information.
Yeah. No, they have not.
They haven't said a single thing to you.
No, NPR podcasts deliver every single day.
He doesn't have a liberal friend either.
Yeah. They're like, I'm sick of it. They won't let y'all speak about, black crime rates. It's just sick. I'm as liberal as it comes, but somebody's talking about MS-13 and the caravan of illegals that are coming to take this nation.
They ain't letting nobody talk about the steal.
Yeah, won't let anybody research any of these baseless claims. There's claims. Why don't they look them up? People claiming that they got a claim.
I love this. This is great.
Opinions and free speech on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. For companies who boast principles of equality and tolerance, these big tech overlords have hypocritically become the exact opposite. These companies, though at one point may have been well-intended, have become anti-virtue, anti-freedom, and anti-American.
Okay.
They've placed themselves as the gods of this world, and we've given them our worship.
Okay. Now he's
twisted.
Switching into pastor vibes here. This is a false idol we're worshiping here. God will punish us for using YouTube.
But
Are you
sir,
ready to repent?
Sir, where will I get my PewDiePie videos?
No more. Today, you and me together, we the people, are taking back our silenced voices. I've said for years if there's only somewhere...
If they're silenced, they're not voices. That's just a technical thing that I'm getting at. Silence is the absence of a voice.
Yep.
So, this is great.
else to go, these big tech plantations would be out of business yesterday. But how can we compete with such massive companies?
Yeah, you can't say plantation. You look like a plantation
to
owner.
refine themselves into what they are today. We have to start somewhere.
Okay.
And we're starting today.
How much?
There's a massive exodus happening right now to many free speech platforms, including free speech video
It's
sharing
happening.
platforms.
Haven't you heard about it? On Mashable.com, they said there's a massive exodus. People are tired of YouTube. They don't watch it anymore. They want free information. About...
They did just rip Parler right off the internet.
Oh my God! They just said they just yeeted them. Whoop. You're gone.
Yeah.
You can't do that. They actually can't do that.
Which is funny because it's the free speech. Like their whole thing is free speech, and they just are like, nope, no, not anymore, buddy.
But and also once again, we've been talking about that stuff forever. There is a rational way of being that makes you want to take down the government, but it's not this.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, they do it in such a goofy way. We've been talking about how bad big tech is when it comes to things like sex work. When it comes to like
freedom.
Yeah, all kinds of shit, drugs and all that stuff. They demonetize. I mean, try buying Kratom. Just go buy a fucking kilo of Kratom and look at the hoops you gotta jump through to fucking get it because you can't pay with a credit card. We have been saying this shit for fucking years and they didn't listen because they weren't the ones that were getting shit taken away. Now they're panicked about cancel culture. It's all cancel culture. Can you press K to make... Oh, no. They don't have the press K to make it play.
Oh, no. There's no keyboard?
No.
Is this HTML5? What is this?
This is bad.
I truly hope their intentions are sincere.
The Java website.
But how do we know these platforms truly understand and value free speech? BitChute's based in England and Rumble in Canada. Parler's funded by the same money behind the Facebook Cambridge Analytica scandal. The unauthorized data mining of 87 million Facebook users.
He went after Parler?
All countries...
He's going after Parler, dude. HugeTube is taking no prisoners. That might be a mistake for them because
I would have.
Conservatives loved.
They
Parler.
loved Parler.
Oh man, they thought Parler was gonna be Twitter. You know what I mean? Like
Dinesh D'Souza posted probably 60 times a day to Parler. I swear, Mark Levine posted every 45 minutes to Parler.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people moved over there. I know Anthony Cumia was over there, who has been out of this world lately racist.
This is a good one. One of our Get Motivated guys, Gary V, recommended people get on Parler because he's like, you're going to have to do business with Republicans anyway, so you should figure out what the fuck they think.
And then you go over there and it's death threats.
Yes. It's like, we have to hang the vice president.
that guy... That L. Lynn Wood,
yes,
he is the center of a lot of this stuff. He is going on TV and saying martial law is going to happen.
Yes,
and shit. He's
making a ton of money by doing it.
Yeah, he's the guy, man. He's their guy.
They're not even in the United States. A lot of these those Watkins guys, they are not even here. They're just pushing. They're taking the barometer on what crazy people want to hear for the day and pushing the best thing that gets them riled up. For traffic.
This is L. Lynn Wood on Parler. Be prepared for an imminent blackout. President Trump will be using the emergency broadcast system. We have a man of courage and faith at the helm. He will be at the helm for 4 more years per the rule of law. Pray for president, our country, and all. Steady. He also is saying that Trump, so while Congress is on Capitol Hill committing treason, surrounded by the military who is helping them by Pence's orders, Trump's in Texas at the command center watching. You think if the military didn't have his back, he would be there, or he escaped Washington on Air Force One? So while Congress is on Capitol Hill committing treason, surrounded by... Okay, I'm sorry, we're at... Secretary of Defense is playing Pence in Congress, waiting for them to finish the crime. Because that's another thing they believe. They believe this... For some reason, at first, it was stop the steal. Then the steal happened, and they were like, no, they had to let the steal happen.
Yes.
Or they weren't going to be able to do what they were trying to do.
It's doomsday cult stuff.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah. They just keep moving forward. What's huge?
All companies everywhere who champion liberty and free speech. But this big tech exodus...
What? Somebody in the chat said they got kicked off Parler within 10 hours of signing up just for responding, Trump wears diapers. That kind of speech is not allowed.
Yeah.
No.
I know a bunch of people
Go ahead.
Got kicked off of Parler for signing up as famous people's names too. Like they got on there and there was a bunch of names free.
Stefan, I think, lasted probably less than 24 hours, I believe.
Yeah, Stefan went over there and made a big mess of Parler.
Also, I saw Liberty Hangout. You know them?
Oh, I know Liberty
Caitlin
Hangout.
Bennett's fucking outfit. So Existential Comics, which is a popular Twitter user that makes it to Facebook a lot of times, said an anarcho-capitalist is just a Nazi who hasn't found the dictator they want to follow yet. Liberty Hangout quote tweeted that and says, when you have no idea what anarcho-capitalism is, so you just call it fascism because you don't know what that is either. This is in 2017. Here we are in 1/6/2021. My allegiance isn't to democracy. My allegiance isn't to the Constitution.
Oh, no.
My allegiance is to Donald J. Trump.
Fuck. That is as fascist as it comes.
Not a little bit of capitalism. It spoils the whole thing.
Yeah.
It rots you.
Yeah.
You can't even have a little bit. Not even in your anarchism, you can't mix a little bit of capitalism into that. In your ideology, it fucking ruins you.
It's like putting
you look pathetic.
It's like putting like a little tiny fleck of shit in your chili. It's
Right.
gonna ruin
It's
the
like,
whole chili.
Who wants to eat that?
I know.
There's like a little fecal matter in there.
I just fucking took a grater and just did like a hard turd on top of it. Just a little hard turd.
Yeah, a couple swipes.
Yeah, just it's not a big deal.
It's a big
like
pot
3
chili,
flakes.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge pot of chili.
You probably won't even get it.
Can't just be about gaining market share. It's about preserving free speech. And this is why the next free speech video sharing platform will be made in America, homegrown, right here in the land of the free.
This guy's gonna make
Today,
a fucking.
I introduce you to HugeTube, UGETube. This platform was birthed by an
worst fucking name. You told me to go to HugeTube, and the first thing I did was type YUGE.
Yeah, you did the Y. I guess I did. I just because I saw it, I didn't have to do it. So I was linked to it. But yeah, that's not a good start.
Bad name.
How do you spell huge exactly?
I mean, YUGE is the way people have been saying it.
Is it?
Yeah, let's see if he explains why it's
Also,
huge.
it's like there's a Y at the beginning of YouTube. So if you're going to just copy another fucking business like this, you would just take the Y with you.
Thank you. Yes.
in America, homegrown, right here in the land of the free. Today, I introduce you to HugeTube, UGETube. This platform was birthed by an American organization with an 8-year history of fighting to preserve our Second Amendment. And you better believe
the Utah Gun Exchange. That's what it is. It's the Utah Gun Exchange. Huge. UGE. HugeTube.
Wow. That's why it's huge.
Yeah.
Cares so fervently about our right to bear arms, cares just as fervently about our First Amendment and all amendments, together with the entire Constitution of the United States.
They care about the First Amendment. These people care about the Second Amendment. They care about the First Amendment. They love all the amendments and the Constitution. They love them.
Yeah. I mean, we only know the first and second, you know. We don't know the one about incriminating yourself. That's why we do interviews about the crimes we've committed.
Let's hear that again. I like this.
An organization that cares so fervently about our right to bear arms, cares just as fervently about our First Amendment and all amendments, together with the entire Constitution of the United States. HugeTube is all America.
He said...
It's passion, life.
They care about the right to bear arms. They care about the First Amendment. And then all the other amendments. And the Constitution.
Liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and yes, freedom of speech. HugeTube is a slick platform that's already built and
Not
ready
that
to
slick,
use.
actually.
In fact, it's been around for over 2.5 years and already has hundreds of thousands of registered users.
No.
Millions of-
It has views.
They always get that wrong. They're always like, 8 million people watch this? And it's like, no, they didn't.
This is incredible.
I've viewed HugeTube videos, sometimes without even knowing it, for its comfortable, familiar streaming interface.
Copy.
It's so easy to navigate with tons of
sued
amazing
out of
features,
existence.
like a clean and aesthetic browsing experience, up to 2 times listening speeds,
No keyboards.
screencasting, a 2-click YouTube import feature, and freedom to listen to videos even when your device is closed. HugeTube has come a long way, and it's
They got that YouTube. They got that YouTube Premium.
They do.
for
They're trying
free.
Do y'all got the same stuff as YouTube? Because I'll switch over to HugeTube if it's free.
If it's free and you can also close, you can like put the video in the background and listen to it. I'm a YouTube guy.
You have
I
to
have to
save
pay
me
for that.
fucking $20 a month.
I have YouTube Music and YouTube Premium.
I know. Trust me.
finally ready to reach its full potential. That's where you come in. When
Okay.
a long train of abuses pursuing invariably the same object, events are designed to reduce
What's
us under
events? You don't know
absolute
events.
despotism. It is our right, it is our duty to throw off such technocrats and provide new platforms for our future security.
Who said
Help
this?
us
Go
take
back
HugeTube
and
to
there was also the word technocrats was in parentheses, but there was no other word in the sentence that was referring to the technocrats.
No. They made that quote up, is what happened. It's
But it
probably
was just not
Benjamin
even
Franklin.
grammatically correct. There was no reason for that stuff to be in parentheses. They were using parentheses as a highlight.
I think they were using
Technocrat,
parentheses.
democracy, freedom.
I think they were using parentheses as this is actually what it's about.
But they
You know
said
what I'm saying?
it. They said it though.
Like that was probably a Ben Franklin quote. I know they said it out loud, but the
Right.
parentheses.
a whole new level. Help us dethrone YouTube in features and freedom.
Wait, YouTube had the hammer and sickle instead of an O.
Really?
When the word "help us dethrone YouTube" and it had a hammer and sickle.
Imagine building an audience you have direct access to, knowing you will never be shadow banned, never be suppressed, never be censored, and never be deplatformed. No.
Shadow ban is their favorite thing in the world. It's like when they're just feeling a little anxious and they're like, nobody's liking my stuff that I posted. I think I'm shadow banned. Help! Somebody, patriots, drag me out of this hole. I'm being shadow banned. It's like, no, you feel bad about yourself and want to feel like you have people out there that care about you.
You posted something that didn't get any faves, so that you replied to it and said, I think I'm shadow banned. Can you fave that post?
Yeah.
Up there?
Hey, you know what? Likes don't go very far. They're pretty much fucking worthless in this architecture. You need to comment on everything I post.
Because you follow 200,000 people and you have 15,000 or 350,000 followers and none of them engage with your tweets.
Nobody has an idea you're tweeting.
That's what shadow ban. That's why they think they're shadow ban. You ever look at their ratios?
Oh,
and
I
you're
know.
Just like, holy shit, man! Come on.
Follow back is not a good strategy.
Well,
it's a good way to. It's a good way to find people to boost your ego, I guess.
Yeah. Follow back is fine. It's the fucking thing about like following like 300,000 fucking people. If you have 400 followers and you follow 400 people, I fucking get it, dude. I follow 400 and 500 people or something like that. Like, I understand wanting to have a constant fucking stream of information. When you're following 250,000 people or 25,000 people, I don't know how you're even reading that shit.
It's follow back. There are programs that will. You know, you can follow 100 random people that are based upon the criteria that you set, and then 1 week later you check who's not following you back, and then you unfollow everybody that isn't following you back, and you repeat the process over and over again, and then all of a sudden you have yourself a following.
That's too much work.
You find other people like you that are looking for numbers, and then willing to conflate those numbers with some sort of an audience or attention, or really convince themselves that that many people are seeing what they say.
That they should start something called HugeTube.
That they should get into HugeTube.
And yours forever. I recently posted a video on Facebook and YouTube that suffered terrible viewer suppression. After a few days of enduring this disgusting abuse, I decided to post the same video on HugeTube. Sent it to a few people, and within 24 hours, it had 3 times the views of both Facebook and YouTube combined. Are you ready for freedom? We have a lot of ideas for
freedom to stream, freedom to get views on YouTube, freedom to be unshadow banned on YouTube.
The freedom is now all tied up in social media metrics.
I had the freedom to get 160,000 views, and that was restricted on Facebook. On Facebook, there's people doing better stuff, and that's not fair to the rest of us hacks that are just recording our own faces every single day. I deserve more streams because I say so and I feel like it.
With us, to grow with us, to unite with us on this once-in-a-lifetime exodus. Help us make YouTube the world's preferred video sharing platform.
There's like every sentence you can pause. We are halfway through the video finally.
The funny thing about this is they're showing comments on HugeTube of people saying way better than YouTube. I already love HugeTube.
They're doing a yellow highlighter that says, "Thank you for allowing freedom of speech."
Honest, transparent, and free. Help us add new features like live streaming, an amazing mobile app for Apple and Android.
You don't have that?
Further
but YouTube
refining
has
our
that.
upload interface.
You're not better than YouTube if you don't have that.
And more.
A storefront? Oh, they mean a digital one? Movie distribution? What movies?
Sorbo movies. Church movies, people that get a bunch of money for their church director to make a movie.
My Pillow Guy movies.
Mike
Lindell. Get a Mike Lindell.
Those crazy ass Amazon Prime movies that people just can put on there. I don't know how they get there.
Dinesh D'Souza has like 3 on Prime that are free. You can watch them for free.
So many fucking aliens and wild conspiracy movies on Amazon Prime. The other platforms kind of scrub it. That one has such low budget, awful entertainment. Not even good conspiracies.
I know. It's stuff that They have a lot of good music documentaries on there.
Sure,
actually.
they do.
But they do have a whole bunch of garbage and junk on there. Dinesh D'Souza's movies are all on there. You can watch them if you miss him from your parlor days.
Right, I'll have to get my injection of D'Souza.
With your help and our God-given desire for tech freedom, it's not only possible,
Tech freedom
God-given.
that HugeTube could...
God created the world like 7 billion years ago, and he did it for this moment when people would want to speak out digitally
on YouTube.
Yeah, God, I did not make monkeys melt down metal and plastic and put it together and make these goddamn computers if it wasn't going to be free. What'd I do that for? I'm God. That's silly.
could rise as a major competitor to YouTube within the first year. You might be saying, that's great, but how can I trust HugeTube won't stray from its founding principles?
That's true.
I know HugeTube founder Sam Robinson on a deep...
DJ Dub D actually kind of cracked it on this. Says this seems like a grift. They could just put whatever numbers you want on there.
Oh, yeah, that is a good point.
We promise you'll get numbers. They don't promise who they'll come from. They promise that if you check the numbers, they'll be there. We tell you what you want to hear.
We should have started HugeTube.
You uploaded your video about communist secrets in Des Moines, Idaho, and you have 600,000 views. That's 600,000 patriots that are fighting for you.
Intellectual Frog Legs story Commie Dearest has 35,000 views.
Commie Dearest has 35? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not inflating.
I don't see how long it is. Well, maybe they are.
Proper Pistol Grip Back to Basics Part 2 only has 10,000.
Yeah.
I guess everybody that comes to HugeTube probably knows how to hold a pistol. I mean, you got to get to the advanced stuff. We don't know how to like evacuate a room. We got to know how to take over the Capitol building or something.
HugeTube, though, the one we're watching has 626,000 views. So it's really something to aspire to.
Every time you get linked to the weird thing though, now that I'm thinking about it, is every time you go to HugeTube, this is the video that opens.
Yeah.
Kind of concerning that it's not in the millions.
No.
You know, Gangnam Style I think did tens and 20 millions of views. I don't know. This one isn't even breaking 1 million.
And this guy's handsome.
Yeah, he's doing the most.
I'd love to see the metrics on if me and you were the only two people that are going to have watched the whole video.
No one has made it through. We're going to get harassed with advertisements like, we want Street Fighter Radio to invest in YouTube. Do freedom of speech.
Hey, we're going to get streaming soon. You're going to want HugeTube on with your Restream, of course.
We should get them to pay us like $100,000 to be the first live streamers.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that idea.
They probably already have somebody.
Yeah, they do have Baked Alaska.
No.
To YouTube within the first year.
He's too big for HugeTube.
You might be saying, that's great, but
what's he
how
on,
can I trust
D-Bomb or
HugeTube
D-Live?
won't stray
What's
from
that
its founding
called?
principles?
I don't know what Baked Alaska.
I was watching him. Sorry, go ahead. Play this propaganda.
I know HugeTube founder Sam Robinson on a deep personal level.
Oh.
He is more committed to freedom and excellence than anyone I know. And besides him being a lifelong student of America's founders, HugeTube has its own binding constitution. Our commitment in writing, no matter how big HugeTube gets, it will never, even if we wanted to, be able to stray from its founding principles of free speech and individual liberty. Now,
well, what about when they can connect you in a court case that proves that you did violence against the government and you're going to go to jail for it? What would you say then, Mr. Slick Attorney looking motherfucker?
He said, he said we have a constitution.
Yep.
You can't change a constitution. Now that's the thing. You can change a terms of service agreement. You can change a contract. You can change all kinds of things. Now the thing is, a constitution takes a lot of work to change one of those.
You got to fire up the old feather pen to get it changed.
That's what he said. He said,
"No, who has an inkwell ready at any time? We can't change this thing. It's dried. The ink has dried. This is written in stone. We stand for freedom and live streaming eventually."
A constitution. He acts like a constitution is a type of thing that you can come up with and that it's legal. If we were like Street Fight will never sell out because there is actually a constitution preventing us from doing so.
They feel like it's the highest document. They feel like it's a pledge to God that you're going to be... This is like, contracts, we break those things all the fucking time. We screw over people in business. We have to go to court and all of that. Constitutions, you can't do nothing about that. They have to be re-oiled with blood.
Constitution.
To YouTube within the first year. You might be saying, that's great, but how can I trust HugeTube won't stray from its founding principles? I know HugeTube founder Sam Robinson on a deep personal level. He is more committed to freedom and excellence than anyone I know.
Freedom and excellence.
Besides him being a lifelong...
You're wingmanning. Now he's a wingman?
He's just, look at him.
He's wingmanning. My buddy, he buys rounds for people all the time. He doesn't tell anybody about it, though. He's too damn humble. He's always handing out money, but he won't tell anybody. I think that we do the HugeTube takeover with Bernie as the initial thing. We add the Y, and then it's a Bernie thing.
Yeah. I mean, we could probably buy HugeTube from this guy.
Yeah, I have $500. Okay. I work.
HugeTube has its own binding constitution. Our commitment in writing that no matter how big HugeTube gets, it will never, even if we wanted to, be able to stray from its founding principles.
Even if it fucking wanted to.
Wait, hold on. Is this some sort of like fourth dimensional hex or something? We would try to break the rules of the Constitution, but ethereal chains from the undead would stop us.
Incredible.
There's ectoplasm in the world that would stop this from happening. Some ghost would say, "Nuh-uh, you signed a constitution, not a contract, my friend.
Yeah.
You're going straight to hell."
You go to court and fucking boom, you're like, "Oh, do you have a contract, sir?" "No, I have a constitution."
I think that's so if you follow the Constitution, you go to heaven. If you break the Constitution, you go to hell. That's the difference with constitutions.
Constitution.
Now I need to let you in a little closer.
Oh.
One of the major challenges of a video streaming platform is monetization. It costs tens of thousands of dollars a month to stream videos.
That's
In
why
fact, most people don't realize YouTube lost money hand over fist for the first 10 to 12 years of its existence. We don't have that kind of time or money.
Oh, I love this. I love this. This is the craziest pitch ever. Hey, we were all making videos. Only 100 people fucking watched them. We want to start a thing. You can't make money. We're not going to make money running this business. Are you fucking crazy? You're sitting here looking at me, makes a competitor to YouTube. YouTube doesn't make money. I want to run a business that doesn't make money just like YouTube, and we've got a constitution.
Users we have, the lower the usage rates per user. Massive growth is the only way to defeat big tech censorship. Most platforms allow free access, but then bombard you with manipulative targeted ads.
True.
Our platform must be different, but it also must sustain itself.
I mean, come on. Whenever the seed bucket people show up, you're going to let that happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
We're not going to monetize this? Like, what are you on the internet for? Why would you ever fucking have a website if you're not going to monetize it with ads? These people are ready to buy construction buckets full of food, ammunition, print your own ghost AR-15 body that you can't be tracked by the government. There's a millions to be made here. What are you doing?
You're allowed to do that on HugeTube, though.
That's against the Constitution.
There's a Second Amendment on the HugeTube Constitution.
There is.
You have a right to bear arms on HugeTube.
Well, what's the Second Amendment of the HugeTube Constitution? Well, of course, right to bear arms. I mean, it's traditional of all great constitutions. The second round, they, allow us to carry.
Actually, the truth is, in the HugeTube Constitution, the First Amendment is the right to bear arms. The second one is freedom of speech.
That's true.
They know what's important.
Yes. Yeah. The gun will decide who can speak.
Yes. Oh, I think I just pulled the thing out. Hold on 1 second here. So freedom of speech. It's freedom of speech is the Second Amendment, I think.
Utilize a hybrid approach, allowing some advertisements with a voluntary ad-free option, giving the user full control over how they support Facebook.
How do you get that?
How much is that? I asked $40 a month. I mean, they get away with so much. Did you see there was one a funny image that was getting passed around about some these people that were selling sweatshirts at the Capitol building?
No, I didn't.
I think it was real, but they said 2 people that identified themselves as Nah, and it doesn't matter what my name is, said they don't actually support Trump. They're just here selling sweatshirts because these people will buy them for $100.
It's true though. They will. They got a big. We got a big word cloud
and vision
here.
for HugeTube that we can't reveal
He's
as
got
part of this
the
campaign.
whiteboards
With
out.
your support,
He said, "Wait a minute. Let's hear about their ad thing here."
Hey, one thing I like about YouTube, the rewind 10 seconds button is right next to the play. That's nice.
Yeah, it helps.
our platform must be different, but it also must sustain itself. HugeTube will utilize a hybrid approach, allowing some advertisements with a voluntary ad-free option, giving the user full control over how they support free speech. We have an expansive,
like
extremely well-planned vision for HugeTube that we can't reveal as part of this campaign, but with your support...
Wait a second. We want to run a business that loses money for 10 years, and we can't explain how we're going to do it. We just need your money to do it.
The whole thing. Fucking, you wouldn't even... And the video for the people, there is like there's like a picture drawn of like people.
Yes.
And it looks like a flow chart that you would have at a company on a PowerPoint presentation, but there's no information on it, and it has a person, and it has like a $sign, and it says HugeTube on it.
But it's a whiteboard that's like, well, it looks like one of those explainer videos where they explain the marketplace and they draw a line, and then like some guy's shirt collar gets caught on the line, and he's like dragged up it, and he goes on this journey. It's all filled with word clouds and bubbles, speech bubbles, and he's there to just say, I mean, we filled up a whole whiteboard. I think we know what we're doing.
HugeTube. It's like one is a picture of a guy shrugging and saying, ads?
Should we make money?
Money? Like with a
yeah.
Huh.
Personal user experience. Write that down. Jacob S. said that's the secret amendment.
That's true.
There are some secret amendments in the Constitution. You have to unlock those.
Maybe if you...
partnership and feedback, we will realize it together. The reality is, dethroning YouTube will take a war chest of millions. Help us.
Yes, I know. My dreams are going to take millions too. What I want to do is millions. It's not cheap.
I think it's going to take a war chest of billions.
Yes.
To dethrone YouTube.
Right.
I'm pretty sure. You're going to have to start your own Amazon first.
Yeah.
In order to do the hosting. Because they can just whoop right out of there.
Yank you.
You should talk to the Parler people, sir. YouTube should get in touch with the Parler people and ask them how a war chest works.
Help us turn the eyes of the world to this campaign. Our freedom and our future depend on it. Join us today.
Damn.
Pledge to this campaign for your God-given freedom, for your husbands, for your wives and your children, for your right to...
For mine, my husband, my wife, and my children.
Well, I was thinking about just my freedom, but like, there's a whole bunch of freedoms in this house.
Yeah.
Everybody's got freedoms.
Everybody needs some damn freedom.
To hold and share your opinions without fear or persecution by oppressive technocrats. Pledge today for a bright future
And
you
your
control,
grandkids.
Prosperous and free. If we
And mean commenters.
Yeah.
unite as one,
Do
right
it for your
now,
nieces that dyed their hair purple, even though, you don't agree with it. You have to do it for their freedom too.
Also, horrible people who don't respect the Constitution or the HugeTube Constitution, either one of them. Also, horrible people who don't fave your tweets or follow you back.
Claim our silenced voices with a video sharing platform that will vouchsafe free speech and flood the world with liberty for as long as this good earth shall stand.
Ooh. Oh, thank you.
In the spirit of freedom, e pluribus unum. Let's build HugeTube together.
He said the money thing.
HugeTube, broadcast freedom. Now, they are running this campaign on a website called Give Send Go.
Okay.
Which is...
Never heard of it.
Not one of the main websites. Let's take a look and see if they show us what they've made. Okay. Their goal is $115,000.
Ooh.
They've raised $26,228.
Yeah, that stings.
Yeah, it's tough, but they've only been running for not too long. I think they're going to fund it.
How long?
It doesn't say. Hold on, I gotta find out where it says. December 9th, maybe.
Yeah.
December 7th. Oh, no. They did high-profile attorney valiantly. Okay. Yeah, it looks like December 7th. It looks like exciting news.
When it got kicked off.
High-profile attorney valiantly defending the integrity of American elections retweeted a HugeTube yesterday. She writes,
these are like project updates.
On November 30, it looks like this has been going on since November. The first donation looks to have landed.
Wait, what's BitChute or BitChute?
BitChute is one that they don't like. I think, because it's not in America. So the first donor was an anonymous donor for $5, and that was 38 days ago.
Okay, so it's been around for a month.
38 days. They've made $26,000. You can give now, you can share now, or you can pray now. They have a button for each one of those.
Put us down for a prayer. Yeah. I'll give them a prayer. Sure.
Click the pray now button.
Yep.
Oh. Prayers written using cursing or hate will be deleted immediately.
That's not free speech. That's not free speech. What are you talking about?
So you can, it says here, if you hit the pray now button, it says send an encouraging message or prayer to the campaign owner. Let them know you are praying for them. So you can
and it also lets them know, this is maybe part of the, James 5:16 says the prayer of a right. You cut it off.
I close it. Hold on. I'll hit pray now again. Oh wait, it won't let me click on pray now.
Okay, well, we'll never know what the prayers of a righteous person does then.
Yeah. So that is HugeTube on Give Send Go. We need to send Mike and Jesse. Maybe we can get Jesse to call in and explain to us what
Christian crowdfunding.
Give Send Go is. I wonder if they know about it.
It says #1 free Christian crowdfunding site.
Well, it's the #1 one.
Yeah, that's good. Who would want to be on the #2 Christian crowdfunding site?
Now I want to go to discover campaigns on Give Send Go. Oh,
it's just going to be healthcare. It's always healthcare. Like we never did nothing wrong. We worked hard and praised Jesus, and we hate Black Lives Matter, but we need $400,000 for alternative cancer treatment.
Well, they want to help Noblebeard.
Who's Noblebeard?
He was brutally attacked in D.C. as he was protecting civilians by trying to subdue an armed communist. So but he looks like a Proud Boy.
Yeah, he's a Proud Boy.
Yeah, he's wearing the yellow and the Fred Perry, so I don't think...
He got stabbed by an armed communist.
Yeah.
Well, where's our GoFunding site to give money to the other guy?
Yeah, can I give the armed communist...
Non-binary pal, yeah.
Can I give the armed communist some money?
Please link to that page.
Yeah, Give Send Go doesn't do well on fundraising goals. It looks like none of them are even close.
61,000 on for Noblebeard, though.
Yeah, Noblebeard's doing okay.
It's a decent amount of money.
Money department.
Somebody's cat.
Yeah, somebody's cat. Let's Roll America. Let's look at this.
This looks interesting.
This one looks rough.
A former news reporter.
I'm a former TV news reporter who now specializes in coverage of Washington corruption.
Oh, no.
At this moment, I'm on a cross-country road trip from California to D.C. for the big Stop the Steal rally on January 6th. I'm reporting to Stop the Steal events across the country. My work is featured on the conservativetreehouse.com website. So, yeah.
Go to Spygate Truth, their website.
Yeah, he wants you to go to spygatetruth.com, their website, and you can read his full bio.
72 people gave $4,000.
Yeah, is that good?
A lot, yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are giving $50, dude.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Seems like the bottom amount, really. So, I actually just prayed.
Maybe we should do this. I would be a fun bit. Could we figure out a way to do this?
Like, do one of these, like, raise money for something on here?
Yeah, could we just make up something and get, like, a couple $1,000s out of these people? And just blow it on, or just donate it to a good cause?
We could donate it to Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
And,
yeah.
Oh, no, Harry's Restaurant, which is a Trump-friendly bar, it raised $2,000. So,
that's all they wanted, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a bar that needs $2,000, just sell more alcohol. That's not that much for a bar, I don't think.
Yeah, they were fined for so they got fined because they had a bunch of people in there not wearing their masks.
Got it.
During the Million MAGA
All
March.
right, I'd do the same. I would fundraise for that too.
Sure. Well, that's the show.
Don't actually go to HugeTube.
Don't go to HugeTube.
We wasted our clicks and IP on that, but we're not going to return.
Yeah, and you just got to hear the whole thing. There's no more of it.
Yeah, that was it.
Maybe we'll start a website. Maybe what we'll do is we'll start a website for video, and we'll write a constitution to guarantee your freedom of speech too. We'll do it from a left perspective.
Yes.
Constitution from the left perspective.
Wow. Blowing your mind.
This website has a constitution.
We have a constitution.
Yeah.
Not like a piddly little contract.
Terms of service? Bullshit. So, that's it. That's the show.
Thanks for listening to Street Fight. We appreciate all you that show up and chat. It was really good tonight. It was a very fun show to do. If you want to support what we do, head to patreon.com/StreetFightRadio, where you can get access to videos, audio, and zines to watch and consume and all that stuff.
It's a lot like HugeTube.
It's very similar to HugeTube.
You can watch videos and hear stuff on it.
We're allowed to do IP theft.
Yeah.
On patreon.com, we're allowed to do illegally stream stuff that is paid for.
Yes.
It's part of our freedoms.
On HugeTube, too.
Yes.
Coming soon to the service, a HugeTube channel.
That would also be funny to just put Shark Tank episodes up on HugeTube until they get DM'd, until they get sued out of existence.
Let's put all of our stuff on HugeTube. No, they would notice right away because. But then we can be like,
let's try.
Then we can just be like, well, but the website does have a constitution that guarantees my freedom of speech.
It's important. This project you have going here. I've never been a part of a website with a constitution. This is something I believe. I'm ready to die for this.
It's the first website with a constitution.
We'll be back on Sunday taking your calls. And that's it.
It's my birthday edition.
It is.
Sunday. My birthday is Monday.
Brian's B-Day call-in show.
Yeah. So call in.
You're going to let Martin Luther King have his day.
Yeah. Call in and be nice to me on my birthday. Hey.
We'll see you on Sunday. Peace.